Grade 5 English, first lesson David Copperfield. The main theme of this lesson is peace and harmony. Why are we studying this theme? History teaches us that we should spread peace and love, not war and hate. Everything begins with us. Each one of us can make a difference in a small way to make the world a better place. We can do this by being peaceful and loving to everyone around us. The past events tells us that we should spread peace and love. We should not spread any war or hate. We should not hate anyone. Everything begins within us. So each one of us can make a difference in a small way to make the world a better place. We should love everyone. We should love our neighbors, our family members, and everyone. We should not hate anyone. We should be kind to everyone. So based on this theme, we have the first lesson, David Copperfield. This story is about a small boy. His name was David. His mother died when he was very young, and he was brought up by his stepfather, and he was sent to a workplace where he didn't like. He was not sent to school. So in that workplace, he didn't like the place at all. So he wanted to escape from there, and he runs away to his aunt. His aunt's name was Miss Betsy. Let us see the lesson now. A boy named David Copperfield was very sad when his mother died. His stepfather sent him to work at an unsuitable place. David decided to run away to his father's aunt. She was so disappointed that he had not been born a girl that she never visited him after his birth. So when his mother died, he was very sad, and his stepfather sent him to work, and he decided to run away from the workplace, and he ran to his father's aunt. Her name was Miss Betsy. She was so disappointed that she never went to see him after he was born. She thought that a girl would be born, but unfortunately boy was born, so she never visited him. "Go away," said Miss Betsy, shaking her head. "Go along, no boys here." So when he escaped and he ran to his aunt, she did not recognize at first, so she tells to go away. I watched her as she marched to a corner of her garden and stooped to dig up some more. Then, without a scrap of courage but with a great deal of desperation, I went and stood beside her. Even though she was telling to go away, this boy, he didn't go, and he stood there, and he was noticing what she was doing. She was digging the soil in that garden. She bent down and she was digging the soil. So with so much of fear and with a loss of hope, he was standing and he wanted to talk with her. "If you please, ma'am," I began. She started and looked up. So she was surprised to hear the voice. He was calling as a ma'am. So she stood up and she was listening who is speaking to her. "If you please, aunt." "Hey," exclaimed Miss Betsy in a tone of amazement that I had never heard before. She never heard that voice before, and that too he was calling as aunt. So she was so surprised to hear that calling as aunt. "If you please, aunt, I am your nephew." "Oh Lord," said my aunt, and sat flat down on the garden path. So this boy was introducing himself. He was saying that he was her nephew. When he heard that, she sat on the garden path. The way to the garden, she sat there. "I'm David Copperfield. You had come on the night when I was born and seen my dear mama. I have been very unhappy since she died." So this boy was telling that when I was born, you came to me, and from that again you never came to see me. And I was very unhappy because my mother died. I have been taught nothing and put to work that is not fit for me. So he was telling what happened in the past. He was taught nothing. That means he never sent to school by his stepfather, and he was sent to a workplace. It made me run away to you. I was dropped when I first set out and have walked all the way. Since he didn't like that place, that workplace, he wanted to escape from there, and he straight away walked to his aunt. Here I broke into a fit of crying. When he was saying all this, he was remembering what all had happened, and he was crying very bitterly, very loudly. He was crying. My aunt sat on the gravel staring at me. So, in that garden, gravel means very small stones. So she was sitting there and she was staring at him. Then she got up in a great hurry and took me into the parlor. When he was crying, she saw and she felt very sad, and immediately she took him into her house. She took into one room, into the parlor, that was a sitting room. I was unable to control my sobs. She placed me on the sofa with a shawl under my head and the handkerchief from her own head under my feet so that I would not dirty the cover. So when she was doing all those, he couldn't control and he was crying very loudly. She placed him on the sofa and she put a shawl under his head and the handkerchief under his feet so that he could not dirty the sofa car. After a while, she rang the bell. Janet, said my aunt when her servant came in, go upstairs and tell Mr. Dick that I wish to speak to him. So after some time, she called Janet and she told her to call Mr. Dick from the upstairs. Janet looked a little surprised to see me lying stiffly on the sofa. My aunt, with her hands behind her, walked up and down the room until a gentleman came in laughing. So even this Janet means she was servant. She was very surprised when she saw him lying on the sofa. He was very stiff without moving. So this aunt was waiting for Mr. Dick to come from the upstairs. Until he came, she was walking up and down. Mr. Dick, said my aunt, don't be a fool because nobody can be more discreet than you can when you choose. We all know that. So this Mr. Dick is a different person. He used to act much and also he used to pretend much. So she was a bit angry with Mr. Dick. Miss Betsy was little angry. The gentleman was serious immediately and looked at me. Mr. Dick, said my aunt, you have heard me mention David Copperfield. Now don't pretend not to have a memory. So she was saying that I told you about David Copperfield and now you don't act or don't pretend as if you forgot everything. David Copperfield, asked Mr. Dick, who did not appear to remember much about him. David Copperfield, oh yes, well, said my aunt, this is his boy, his son. So she was introducing this David Copperfield. She was saying that he was the son of David Copperfield. So this boy's name is David Copperfield and also his father's name is also David Copperfield. His son, asked Mr. Dick, David's son indeed. So she was saying that I told you before, but now don't act or don't pretend as if you didn't remember. Well then, returned my aunt, here you see young David Copperfield, and the question I put to you is, what shall I do with him? So Miss Betsy was asking Mr. Dick what to do with this boy. Why, if I were you, said Mr. Dick, looking at me, I would. The sight of me seemed to inspire him, and he added briskly, I should wash him. Janet, said my aunt, heat the bath. So Mr. Dick was saying that, why you are asking like that? If I were you in that place, immediately I would have him bath. So immediately this Janet got up and she prepared everything to have the bath for that small boy David Copperfield. So Miss Betsy told Janet to heat the bath. In the story we can see that Miss Betsy, Janet, Mr. Dick, they all treated him very nicely, in a very good way, in a good manner. they treated very kindly.